Volume 5. The Meeting. Thousands of years ago, Rizal used to live alone in his mansion in Lacedonia. There was a stir among the nobles about a certain human who was fighting nobles and no one was able to defeat him. Rumor spread that he also forcibly erased the memories of the nobles and experimented on them. Jejudal and Rhaegar were sent by the then lord to capture him, Frankenstein, alive. They fought hard with him but were hoodwinked as he fled. The human ran right into the noblesse's mansion unknowingly and told the only man, Rizal, he encountered that he had joined work there. Rizal met Frankenstein for the first time and according to the latter's own words, he made him a worker, in fact, his only worker, there. When Jejudal and Rhaegar arrived, Rizal told them both that the human would be working for him from then on and entrusted him the entire mansion. Afterwards, the master and servant introduced themselves to each other and Rizal got his very first companion. At present, Rizal and Frankenstein are joined by others and their household is ever lively. However, intrusions from the Union are disturbing the lives they have come to like. The Fugitive. A sudden incident introduces another new boarder to the household. M24 seems to be alive and is brought to Frankenstein's residence after he is rescued from Union members who has chased him. However, Rizal senses something different yet similar from him comparing with the past. Later it is revealed that he is a spy of Cromwell. The 10th and 11th Elders. An investigation team from the Union arrive in Korea and amongst them are two elders, the 10th and 11th. Syra and Regis meet them as representatives of the nobles. Meanwhile, Tao and Takeo get caught by Yuri and Bonaire while attempting to plant false evidence against Dr. Cromwell. M21 is about to look for them and Rizal decides to join him in the search. When Frankenstein, Syra and Regis return, they are shocked to find Rizal gone. Elsewhere, Rizal and M21 come face to face with the elders while looking for Tao and Takeo. The elders suspect them to be the miscreants involved and attack. M21 tries to create a diversion for Rizal to escape as he is unwell. Rizal feels good being tried to be protected. However, he decides not to leave and steps in to fight. He cannot use his powers though as Frankenstein enters. Rizal watches as Frankenstein and Syra face off the two elders. However, when Rostir attempts to hide among humans and use them as shields to protect himself, Rizal takes the matter in his own hands. He uses his powers to subjugate Rostir. Rostir mistakes Rizal for the Lord and he turns himself into a live bomb to destroy him. But Rizal consumes the energy of the entire blast. After the annihilation of the two elders, Rizal turns to Bonaire asking him about the whereabouts of Tao and Takeo. Frankenstein convinces him to go home while he takes care of the matter. Rizal finally agrees to leave it to him and returns home with M21 and Regis. Tao and Takeo. Upon returning, they find three big surprises awaiting them. Frankenstein's lab is destroyed, M24 is gone and so is Frankenstein's research data. Frankenstein and Syra return with mortally wounded Tao and Takeo but see no hope of fixing them with the lab at a demolished state. Rizal decides to awaken both of them. Despite everyone's urges, he is determined to bear the toll in order to save their lives. He uses his power and falls unconscious after awakening them. Rizal's health deteriorates more than ever and finally Frankenstein manages to convince him to enter hibernation for a short period to restore his health. He enters hibernation, lying in his casket in an underground chamber. The Earnest Wish. Rizal awakens from his temporary slumber when Frankenstein goes berserk fighting the four Union elders. Rizal reaches the battle zone just on time to save Frankenstein, Rujik and Syra from a lethal attack of the sixth elder, Urokai. The two traitor clan leaders, Urokai and Zarga, stare at Rizal in astonishment as they believe the noblesse to be dead. Rizal reveals that he knew that they were the ones who betrayed him. Urokai is incensed at Rizal as even though he had known about them, he never wanted or felt it necessary to know their reason for betraying. He assumes Rizel has never had any interest in them to begin with. Both Urokai and Zarga prepare to attack Rizel, who creates a blood field surrounding the three of them. Their battle commences, and although Rizel dispels their attacks quite easily, his health state clearly deteriorates further. But he continues to push his limit and initiates his blood wings. In the end, Urokai and Zarga summon all their powers to assemble the ultimate attack, making their serpent and dragon appear. However, Rizel defeats the beasts with his own blood phoenix and destroys their soul weapons. Then Rizel punishes the X-clan leaders with his authority as the Noblesse, sending both of them to forced eternal sleep. After receiving the punishment, Urokai asks Rizel one last time how he truly felt when he knew about their betrayal. Rizel finally discloses that he felt sad. At this, Urokai finally understands Rizel's feelings for them, and asking apology from Rizel, he meets his demise. Zarga also apologizes and thanks Rizel for stopping him from proceeding further in the wrong path before meeting his end. As the two X-clan leaders pass away, Rizel recalls the past times he had with them, while they used to visit him during his lonely days in Lacedonia, regardless of his impassiveness. He had earnestly wished he never have to face any of the traitor clan leaders so that he would not have to pass judgment on them. But fate has devised otherwise. Confusion. Rizel turns to the remaining elder, Fifth, and tells her to inform the Union about his existence. Then he heads back home with the battle-worn team. His health deteriorates even more, while the news of the Noblesse's existence causes a chaos within the Union hierarchy. They decide to postpone their declared war in order to revise their course of action. This state of confusion allows temporary peace in Frankenstein's household. Eye of the Typhoon. Rizel receives a present from Frankenstein, an earring similar to the pair the previous lord had gifted him, with the exception of the dark aura presence. Rizel feels the presence of Dark Spear and deems it being the reason for Frankenstein's worsened condition. He accepts the present and wears it, although the color is not to his liking.